Oh, I forgot to do a little preface. Here we go. Oh, I knocked it out. I knocked it out a little bit. All right. Haha. Hey everyone, it's Wingspan TET, the fourth best commentator on the planet. And if you're watching today, you know what time it is. It's time for EVE Online. Now I put here in my comments, in my title, that today we're going to be talking about two things. EVE Vegas wrap up. Hello Gold Scrub. Hello Mr. Chafe. Hello Soren. Hello everybody. We're going to be talking about two things. EVE Vegas has just wrapped up, so I want to talk about my experiences there. Also the announcements at EVE Online. You know, what's coming up 1 month, 2 month, 4 months, 6 months from now. Hello, Villia World. And I want to talk about what that means for the future of EVE Online. So yes, I'll be ostensibly playing EVE Online in the background. I'll be playing the game, but really, I think this is a really important opportunity to talk through a lot of the details of stuff that was announced at EVE Vegas, because there's just I still look a little hungover, because there's just so much that was covered, so much stuff that I think people who were not in attendance or who didn't watch all, even if you watched all the live streams, there's still a lot that you might not know because the roundtables weren't live streamed, so a lot of follow-up questions and details about certain changes aren't known publicly. And you know, people talking to other players, people talking to other devs, all that stuff. So there's a lot to catch up on. So before I want to get started with that, I want to thank everyone who's watching. I want to thank my supporters at patreon.com/WingspanTET who make this stream possible, especially my top tier patrons who are Adrian Wells and Sean Ricci. They're the people who, you know, like sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you feel afraid. You feel like something's wrong, like there's an alien in your room, or that ghost, the ghost that's been haunting you for the last 8 years is there. But then you remember, you close your eyes and you pray for serenity, and the image of Adrian Wells and Sean Ricci fills your mind, and it brings a calm over you, and that's what allows you to sleep. So thank you, guys, for allowing me to sleep at night, and for everyone else for supporting my channel. Yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot. So hello Stroman. Hello Soren. Hello, yes, and my Tengus. By the way, guys, I have a dirty secret to tell you. All right, I'm gonna tell you a dirty secret before we get into the stream proper. Hold on, let me fix this damn thing. My dirty secret is this. Watch. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Dun dun dun. No kill marks. No kill marks. This is a fresh Tengu. My last Tengu died a valiant death last night. All right, it died a valiant death. It died a valiant. This is wrong, by the way. This value is wrong. It was a 3 billion-ist kill. I decided to attempt to 7v1 this fleet, and it went less well than I had hoped. I did say I tanked 300,000 damage, I believe. Don't mind this damage. Just this damage. I believe that's the damage that gets through the resist. So that's the real damage. I effectively tanked nearly a little bit more than 300,000 damage. But I made a couple mistakes because of Wingspan, and I had some support that was coming, and it got there like 8 seconds too late, and I may have bookmarked one wormhole incorrectly. So all these mistakes. So this is a 4. I had in the cargo. You can see it here. I still had the 501 Plex from the last stream. I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time I did a big EVE stream before my previous stream, which was Valkyrie, I did a stream that was like I was roaming around this thing, and I opened my my this thing, and someone complained that I had 31,500 Plex in my Plex vault. They're like, what are 31,500 Plex? So I'm like, okay, fine. I understand people like the number 31 just as much as I do. So I dragged 501 Plex, I guess, out of my Plex hold into my cargo hold and said, there you go. Now it's an even 31,000, which hopefully would have made everyone happy. And I made a joke that like whoever kills me next is getting rich. Well, they didn't, because the Plex didn't drop. But I dropped some good modules. I made it worth their time. Okay, we dropped Sisters Expanded Probe Launcher, Dread Greases, Warp Disruptor, Corellium C-Type 50MN, Kaldari Navy Ballistic Control System. The list goes on and on. I got potted too. The pod wasn't that expensive though, because it's Genolution pod. So anyway, so there you go. That's good. So let's recap. And I'm just gonna cheat for a second here. I'm just gonna bring up like little updates. EVE Online updates window. Oh no, I have notes. I have notes on my phone that I wanted to cover. And before I start getting into the details of it, I guess if there's anyone who's watching who didn't have a chance either to attend EVE Vegas or to watch anything or to follow it, if you have any questions about anything that's been posted, please put it in the chat because I will answer your questions. That's why I'm here today. I want to make sure everyone out there knows what's coming to EVE Online because honestly, it's huge. It's really huge stuff. This is game changing, life changing stuff. That's just gonna be big. So, hold on a second. Just pulling up my notes here. I have it. So, I think everyone knows by now that obviously Lifeblood, big expansion, is coming out soon. Lifeblood expansion is gonna change moon mining forever. Going to change moon mining forever because moon mining will no longer be a passive process where you just set up a POS. Okay, it's not going to be you set up your POS and you just mine. You don't do anything really. It just mines in the background. Oh, all these wormholes are already saved. Okay, I guess someone else is already in here. It's life changing if you like goo. Do you like goo? Are you a goo guy? If you're a goo guy, it's a life changing experience. Let's go. Let's see here. All right, sure. I'll fly over by one of these planets. So that's going to change everything. So first of all, they're changing it so that the moon goo is no longer extracted passively by a POS. All right, you got to get the big refinery. It's going to orbit the moon. You have to anchor it at a very specific sphere around the moon. You can't just put it anywhere. Okay, and you cannot anchor a refinery if there's already another refinery anchored within that sphere. Okay, so what's going to happen is the refinery is going to turn and the person is going to lock on. They're going to fire this giant beam. Hello, DNA. Hello. They're going to fire a giant beam. The beam's going to blow up the fucking moon. It's going to be like the Tick with Chairman Chippendale. Okay, and a chunk of the moon's going to be loosed. They're going to get a tractor beam, pull it into space, and then when the time comes, that moon, the giant chunk of moon is going to be in the sky, all right? And not unlike the plot to Armageddon, it's going to require a huge explosion to make it safe. So the refinery is going to blast it apart. It's going to make an ore field, a new asteroid belt that's going to be created, a temporary asteroid belt, and then you got to show up and mine that shit. You got to mine it because if you don't, it either A, disintegrates, or B, someone else could show up and steal it from you. And hello, Cap Strongest, welcome to the stream. So, why is that a big deal? It's a big deal for a couple of reasons. Obvious reason is that it's no longer passive. This is no longer AFK money making. All right, you want to make the money, you're gonna have to to reap the honey, baby. You want that goo. That goo isn't gonna goop itself, okay? So you got to show up on grid. You got to put ships on grid, mining ships, potentially a defense fleet if someone else wants to attack. I don't know who in their right mind, who in this game is such a fucking lowlife that they would attack a defenseless miner. That they would do that, but someone's gonna do it. You know those jerks exist out there in EVE Online. So that's gonna be big. All right. So you're gonna talk about more people mining, more ships in space. Okay. This is a lot of changes. Hello, White Mike. Hello, Kevel. And that's big. Now, one thing that was announced. Oh, okay. Before I get to my announcement, Zanus Desef had a question. How long is the process from blasting it to becoming an asteroid field? When you blast it, I believe it becomes an asteroid field basically instantly. You're talking about when it's been tractored into orbit, and then boom, when you man the guns or whatever. I don't actually know what you. There's a little module, right? When you activate the module and you blow it up, then it just becomes asteroid field on the spot. Okay. But the thing is, in terms of how long it is between when you start the extraction and when it gets into space, when you can blast it, you get to choose. So that's what CCP mentioned on EVE Vegas, that you can choose anywhere between like 6.5 days up to, I believe it was 8 weeks, like 7.5 weeks or something like that. And so it's totally up to you. So if you and your guys only feel like mining once every 2 months to do the moon mining, or maybe you control dozens of moons and you can't there's no way you can cover it all unless it's more infrequent, you could totally do that, okay? I'm just gonna orbit this wormhole because that's what I love doing most in the world. You can totally do that. If you want to do it every week, that's fine. But what happens is the longer, it's linear, right? So if you wait 1 week, let's say you get, I'm just gonna make up a number. Let's say you're gonna yield 100 million ISK worth of ore, right? If you had waited 2 weeks instead, then when you blew it up, it could generate 200 million ISK of ore. If you waited 8 weeks, it'd be 800 million ISK of ore. So it's a linear progression. So there's no penalty or bonus if you do it all the time. There's no penalty or bonus if you do it infrequently. It's really, they want the system to work for what your corporation or alliance's schedule is, okay? APK. So yeah, you choose. They also announced, they showed that there's going to be special bonus ores. There's going to be like a lottery kind of. So when you do the blast, there's a chance. There's always a chance, and it's always cloaked 2.1 kilometers off of you. Okay. There's a chance there that it could explode into like a bonus belt, and that bonus belt will have ores that are worth like what I think they said 2 to 3 times more money or something. It's going to be a lot of money. So it'll do a big special blue explosion instead of an orange explosion, and you'll get extra money, and it'll be great. Okay, so that's a big thing. That's a lot of updates. How long will it remain as a belt? No, it's not until it's mined out. It is, if it gets mined out, that will destroy it. But I believe it actually depends. And there's actually, they show there's going to be rigs that affect how long it stays as a belt. There's going to be like an ore tractor stabilization rig. So how long it stays is actually going to depend on how you have your structure fit. And there you go. So I don't know the exact details. I'm not actually sure if that's publicly known, if the exact numbers are publicly known yet. But yes, it is going to be slightly variable, and you can control that variable with an invariable rig. All right. So what else? What else is there? So some things. There you go. See, there you go. Kenneth knows. 2 days. 2 days is the default. So what are some of the other things that have been added? So they have mentioned at eVegas, and this is a big one. This is a big one. Okay, that moon mining is confirmed to be coming for wormhole space and high security space in 0.5 security systems. Okay, so that means it's not just going to be in nullsec. It's not just going to be in lowsec. Okay, it's going to be in the fireplace background's magical. I should light a fire, except for the fact that I haven't had my flue cleaned out in like basically ever. So long that I would have to hire Mary Poppins and her comrades to come here and clean us out. Okay, so moon mining is going to be happening in wormhole space, and the lowest security high sec in 0.5. That's huge news. Now it's not going to produce moon goo. It's only going to create normal asteroids and normal asteroid belts. But this is big because it's content creator in high sec. People can fight over moons in high sec. Yes, it's true. Like is code gonna mess with you on your own? Maybe they will. Maybe they'll still mess with you. I don't know, but it's gonna be cool. But wormhole space, this is huge. Anyone as the number one wormhole corporation CEO, I can tell you, nobody mines in wormhole space. It doesn't happen. All right. I can't remember the last time I saw like a real mining vessel in wormhole space. So yeah, you will have some cool stuff going on there. You're still gonna just be able to get like normal ores, okay? But that's something you can't even just do now. You can't do this you can't reliably mine in wormhole space. You don't have a reliable way to do this. Once you could potentially put these refineries on every moon in your system in wormhole space if you wanted to, and you set them all for 7-day timers or something like that, you could be mining 24/7. You're gonna see roracles deployed in wormhole space. You're gonna see mining fleets, okay, and you're gonna see Wingspan bombers doing bombing runs on them. It's gonna be beautiful. It's honestly a work of art. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, let me get out here. Hold on a second. I just gotta warp around a little bit and get a place I want to look from.
Warp drive
overheat a little. Okay. Hello. Oh dear. Hold on. You mean I should move my Rotaro because nasties are coming around? All right. Yeah. So people do. Was that a splash in a stream or in my wormhole? That's up to you, John Otter. John Otter, that's your problem. You got to figure that out. All right. So that's big news. That's a huge amount of content creation for Wormhole space, potentially a huge amount of creation for HiSec, okay? They're adding so much more PvE to HiSec. We're going to see these forward operating bases and the whatever sites, oh God, why am I forgetting the name of this thing? I knew it. I'm going to blank out on it. It's Resource Wars. Okay, Resource Wars. So you have more dynamic PvE that's happening. You can have the Garissa shipyards and all that stuff coming too. The forward operating bases are going to be pirate bases in HiSec. They're going to, you won't be able to find them right away, but basically there's going to be extra pirates in HiSec. They're going to go to asteroid belts. They're going to be messing around. But the thing is, they're going to actively seek out players they don't like. If you've got a problem with Garistas, if you got poor standing, they're going to find you in system and try to gank you in HiSec, okay? They're going to find you and they're going to gank you. If your corporation has a problem with them, they're going to look for you, okay? If you have a structure anchored in the system and is vulnerable, they're going to fight it and reinforce it. They're going to attack player structures. This is something I don't think has ever been done ever in EVE Online before. This is enormous to think that there could be thousands of structures being reinforced by NPCs around high security space. Like, people are always whining that the war deck system's not good enough or taking down structures and all that stuff. So yeah, the update's coming soon. It's coming on. Lifeblood is on the 24th. Wow, that's soon. 12 days. The 12 days of Christmas. Okay, so what does this mean? Hold on a second. I thought I worked farther away than this. Oh, the system just kind of sucks. Okay, got it. That's why the system sucks. All right, so this is going to be big, PvE wise. And it's just gonna be absolutely huge. Now, the other thing with the Resource Wars that's just interesting is that, and then basically once you're tired of them blasting your face in, you're like, I'm like really pissed these NPCs have just attacked my structures for like the 5th day in a row. You can combat scan down the forward operating base. It's going to be a base that has dynamic AI, so you can't just show up in a single frigate and clear it. You're going to have to bring a kind of well-rounded fleet, or at least you're going to have to wait a while until someone figures out the meta, figures out what kind of fleet you can bring. But the enemies are going to have Logi, they're going to have EWAR, they're going to warp around and have tactical positions and bring in reinforcements and stuff. So it's going to be like pretty dynamic stuff. So very exciting. It's going to be a big deal. And it's a big deal too because these forward operating bases and Resource Wars are like the way that CCP has set them up with the reward system and just the way they're generally structured. It's like the first time ever. It's like the first time ever. Oh, why did I say this so poorly? That like PvE, other than incursions, right? These are like mini incursions. Like they're PvE that actually require cooperation. And it could be between coordinates, it could be between strangers. They said there's going to open a special chat channel when you go to the beacons to fight these things so that you can talk to strangers who are trying to fight them with you too. It's huge. I'm just catching up on some chat that people have here. You want to know about, the alpha changes. I'll cover the alpha changes in 1 second. I was just getting covered. The alpha changes is a big thing. All right, just catching up here. Okay, and I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything on my notes so far. Yeah, and by the way, I just want to say with EVE Vegas, it was fucking awesome. It was awesome to go. I did go in 2015, as can be proven by my EVE Vegas 2015 shirt. Okay, EVE Vegas. First of all, the greatest thing about it was getting to meet so many Wingspan pilots. There's like almost 500 pilots in our corporation now. There's, obviously, there's some people who are not always around, but I would say, realistically, 300 something, around their high 300s or whatever. We had almost 30 people from Wingspan show up to EVE Vegas. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. The only groups that I know that had more people there that I could see had more people there were Goon Swarm and Mercenary Coalition. And they always have a lot of people. So it was amazing. It was amazing to meet all these people because I know their voices. I talk to them all the time. I play with them all the time. They're in my videos, all that stuff. You've seen them, you've heard them, whatever. And I talk to these people a lot. I just talk to people on comms as I drive home from work sometimes because they're awesome people to talk to. But to meet some of these people in real life was just great, to put like a face to their voices and all that stuff. And then of course, to meet so many other EVE players where I got to talk to people from all these disparate groups, talk to the Matani, talk to other streamers, talk to Manic Velocity, Rain, talk to Raffi, just ran into so many awesome people over there. Yeah, just a lot of people. Talk to Minxie from Signal Cartel, who's like the good Wingspan. If you're ever looking for a corpse that's not so evil, that's one. So it was just great. Yes, I did meet Stunt Flores, Anime Shogun. Yes, I met Anime Master Stunt Flores. He was there. I met Globby and Stunt Flores in one place. I'm pretty sure they were holding hands. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Those people bring a tear to my eye, and they bring the salt to Reddit. So it's always worth something. Yeah, and by the way, before I get to other stuff, the other thing with eVegas, yeah, talk to the devs. That's cool too. Talk to CCP Rise, both sober and drunk. Yeah, so there you go. Oh, who says Naliao? Meeting me, you mean? Yes, meeting you. So the game is moving towards what vet players want, away from starters unless they join a corporate alliance. Yeah, you had to cooperate. That's what they want. They want the game so that you have to cooperate, because the way that missions and stuff are set up now, where you just kind of keep leveling up your ship, so you keep soloing higher and higher level missions, is not what EVE's about. Because even if that teaches you how to fly that ship, it doesn't teach you, even in high sec, even in the most Careberry high sec place possible, learning how to play along with other people is a really big deal. Hey, October Beauty, hello. Hey everyone, if you get a chance, October Beauty is in channel. She's also an EVE streamer. I feel like she puts on a lot of really good content, and she just has not gotten nearly the recognition that she deserves. Really has just a really fun stream that she's online with EVE all the time. So please check out her channel. It's October_Beauty, I believe. And hey, it's October right now, so this is the month. If you're gonna watch her stream any month, anytime, you have to watch it now, because I'm sure as soon as November comes, this other streamer, November Beauty, is gonna pop up, and she's gonna dominate the fucking internet. So just putting that out there. All right. So let's talk. Hold on. Let's talk alpha clones. Okay, alpha clones. This is a big one, and this is one that a lot of people have questions about. Oh, she's messing with me. All right. Well, I didn't know. Sorry. I didn't know. Give me a break. So this is a question that this is something a lot of people have questions about. So what CCP announced, I'm just going to bring up my ship tree to make this more obvious here. So let me go, let's say, to Galente. I'll go Kaldari because I'm in a Tengu right now. Okay. Dr. Rex, CCP, what are you... And guys, everyone who's watching the CCP channel, just so you are aware, this is me at Wings... I'm just going to put this here. I'm just going to put this in my chat. If you're watching me on the CCP channel, I'm hosting this from my channel at Wingspan TT. I'm dual broadcasting. So CCP, I believe there's no one here from CCP to answer your questions. I will answer your questions. I'm Wingspan TT, and I will answer your questions. Are you going to the 15-day gap between the patch and when refineries are up? The T2 markets are going to fall apart without Moongu. Yes, they will. It's going to be beautiful market chaos. People are stockpiling now. I have already stockpiled lots of T2 materials. So if you haven't already, you're probably already screwed. That's it. It's just going to be chaos. CCP wants chaos. So there you go. Okay. There are more than 3. Yes, there are more than 3 girls in EVE Online, and they're all streamers. No, a lot of them are, though. A lot of them are. Rain is. October Beauty here is. You got Raffi's there. Does Crass Kitty still stream EVE? I haven't seen if she's still doing it. Hey, look, she's following. Look at that. See? Woo. The orange scheme is not specifically for her, but it's just because I like orange. Okay. You've learned more from Wingspan than from CCP. Thank you. Oh, Anime Shogun. Shut up, dude. So let me just explain something here, all right? So let's talk about Omega, right? Alpha and Omega. So right now, alpha clones, what can you fly as an alpha clone? Basically, you choose one race. Let's say you're born as a Kaldari for some unfortunate reason. You're born as a Kaldari. You have your little pod, okay? Then you can fly your Corvette. That's your starting ship. And then what you can do is you can train into 3... God, this is really annoying that you can't zoom out farther. Oh, you can. Oh, never mind. So basically, you can train into Tech 1 frigates, destroyers, and cruisers. Thank you, Thatchia. I don't know if I read that right. That you can train to Tech 1 frigates, destroyers, and cruisers of your race. Okay? So you can train all of these beautiful. You can fly a Heron, you can fly a Bantam, you can fly the Griffin Navy issues. Okay? I believe you can fly these because they don't require special skill levels above what the Tech 1 ships require. They're not Tech 2 ships. You cannot fly Tech 2 frigates. You cannot fly them. Okay? You fly Tech 1 destroyers. You cannot fly Tech 2 or Tech 3 destroyers. And then you can fly Tech 1 cruisers and the Navy cruisers and whatnot, the Empire cruisers, but you cannot fly Tech 2 or Tech 3. Oh, I never trained Logi or Cerberus. Oh, okay, I know, because I didn't train that one skill. Okay. So you can, but you can't fly Tech 2 or Tech 3. Then that's almost it. That's almost all the ships you can fly. You cannot fly another race's ships. You cannot fly any ore ships other than the Venture. Okay, you can fly. You can train mining frigates 1 or 2 or whatever. Okay, and you've got really crappy tier 1 weapons for everything, tier 1 everything. Okay. And then the only other thing you can fly is stuff that doesn't require any race. Like you can fly the Apotheosis or the Gnosis battle cruiser because they don't require any racial skills. Now, I have begged CCP in person 3.1 times to add a new section of ship tree that's called Special Edition Ships, right? Why can't you have a section of the ship tree that shows the Gnosis and the other Society of Conscious Thought ships? Why can't you have a section of the ship tree that shows the Zephyr and that shows all those ships, the AT ships, right? There's no reason you shouldn't be able to show them. It would be trivial. It would be trivial to add them. Okay? So, all right. So hold on a second. So here we go. So I'm gonna keep talking here. So what is the change of alphas? All right. There's several changes. One change is that you will now be able to train up to battle cruisers and battleships and large weapons, Tech 1 large weapons for your race. Okay. So your Galente here, you can train all. You can get a fucking Myrmidon, however you pronounce this. All right, a Talos, a Brutix. Wow, that's a steal. Okay, you can get a Brutix Navy issue. Amazing. You cannot train these Tech 2 ones up here. Okay, and then you can train Tech 1 battleships. Yes, you can fly Megathron. Yes, you can fly Dominix. Yes, you can fly Hyperion. Yes, you can. Okay, and you can fly these two. You will not be able to fly a Black Ops battleship. You will not be able to fly a Marauder. Okay. So hold on. I'm just trying to keep up here. Why don't Citadel show up in station? I don't know. That's a good question. They should also add a structure tab on the ship tree. They should call it like a vehicle tree or something and add structures. Anyway, or make a section, separate section. So that's the first change. The first change is that you can now train up to battleships within your race. The second change is that you can train any race's ships up to battleship. So even if you were born a Kaldari for whatever unfortunate reason, you can train Amar ships. You can train into an Amar battleship, okay? You can train into an APOC Navy issue. Yes, you can, okay? The third change, because of this, is that you can now, because of those first two changes, you can now train into the pirate and third-party faction ships, okay? Because before, there's no way you could fly a Macarial, right? How would you fly a Macarial as an alpha? You can't fly battleships, and Macarials require two battleship. You need the Minmatar battleship and Galente battleship skills to fly this, okay? But now, because you can train both those skills, you can fly a Macarial. You can fly a Nestor. You can fly an Astero. You can fly any of these ships. You can fly any of these faction ships, with the exception of you still cannot fly the Ore. You know, the why am I blanking on this? The things that's the sucky things, the things that the exhumers, they exhume the barges, mining barges. Okay, they can't train these, and I'll get into that in a minute. So that's another change. Another change is that you will now have access to Tech 2 small and medium weapons. So if you're Kaldari, you could train rockets level Tech 2 rockets. You can train Tech 2 light drones, Tech 2 medium drones across the races. There's still going to be restrictions, guys. This isn't unlimited. it's still going to be unlimited. It's not going to be unlimited, right? Like, Qadari will still get worse drone skills. Oh, you know what? They won't now. Hold on, I just realized this. They probably won't get worse drone skills. Maybe I'm wrong. That's got to be confirmed, actually. If you start Qadari, can you train the drones to the maximum level of skills just like the Galente can? I assume you can. Okay, that's amazing. I've just realized that right now. Okay. And by the way, thank you everyone who's following me. Thank you. Thank you. Say, Stroman. No, no, no. No, no, no. So just because you can fly in a Stereo and a Stratios does not mean that you can fit the Covert Ops Cloak. The Covert Ops Cloak still requires cloaking level 4, which alphas will not have. They don't have any level of cloaking. Now, I have asked CCP to reconsider that. I know that giving alphas cloaking is hugely contentious, but I asked CCP Rise in person, and he said it was a good idea. He said it was a good idea. That doesn't mean this is going to happen. But could they make it so that the prototype cloaking device that you get at cloaking level 1 is just way shittier, right? So can they make it so that when you use the prototype cloaking device, instead of it, you activate it and you keep cloaked forever, just like every other cloaking device, make it so that when you activate it, you stay cloaked for like a couple minutes. Maybe you can stay cloaked for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, something like that. Something pretty limited, right? So you can't use it for camping someone's system for hours or even half an hour at a time. And then when it's done, when you deactivate it, whether you decloak or something decloaks you or whatever, it has a cooldown of like a minute and a half. So like if you get bumped or discovered, you can't just recloak, right? If you are warping gate to gate at top speed, you can't just cloak as you land on every gate or whatever it is you want to do. If you're hiding and someone is looking for you, eventually your cloak's going to run out and they're going to find you. And if you're not aligned and you can't warp out, they're going to catch you because you can't recloak for a minute and a half. So I think that would be a very fair way for allowing alphas to cloak. Okay, so hold on a second. Let me catch up on some questions and then I want to talk about other important alpha changes. So what weapon types are you allowed to train still? I don't think it's tied to race anymore. It wouldn't make any sense. It's not tied to race. Okay? Asteros and Stratios without Covops incoming. And if people are asking me if I'm for this change, let me ask you something. Do you think that Wingspan Delivery Services, the CEO of Wingspan, is going to be for or against a change that potentially puts thousands of players in poorly tanked, uncloaked ships all over the game? Ships that torpedoes apply maximum damage to. I want you to answer that question. Look into your soul and answer it. Okay. So yeah, you can't train the cloak right now, but that could potentially change. That has not been confirmed. That's just my personal hope and speculation. All right. So it's not that alphas are getting everything that omegas can do. They still don't get cloak. They still can't do PI. They still have shitty skills, like you can't do market PvP or things like that. You can't do like lots of contracts. Like, so there's tons of stuff that Omega still can only do. The alphas still train at half speed, right? Just a reminder, right? That Omegas train at the 2 times speed, like it says here. If you're alpha, it's still the 1 time training. So yeah, there's still lots of skills they're not going to be able to train. So for instance, they won't have Tech 2 large weapons. Even if you can fly a Dominix and you have heavy drones, presumably you're going to get the heavy drone as an option, that you're not going to be able to have Tech 2 heavy drones. And it's potentially, you might, for instance, only be able to train heavy drones to 4 or 3, or even like level 1. They might just cap it at level 1, so you have crappy heavy drone skills. We don't know yet. We don't know. That hasn't been released. So let's talk about now what the third important changes. And by the way, yes, my Tengu died, so I had to retrain Qadari. Of course, this was the first. I'm going to finish this off because this is the last like drone skill I want to train for a long time. Hold on. Hold on a second. Yeah, and they still can't fly like a Noctis and all that stuff. People laughing at my stupid face. Oh man, I'm just catching up here. Okay, so talk about oars. Like I said before, they cannot fly the oar ships. I'll come back to that in a second. This is important. I want to touch this. So here's the important thing with alphas. Right now, how it works with alpha is the alphas have a cap. They have a cap of 5 million skill points, basically. Okay? I don't remember if it's exactly 5 million. It's close to 5 million. Anyway, cap of 5 million skill points. They train it for free. They have a shitty skill queue. They train at half speed. But whatever. They train it for free. Once they get to 5 million, that's it. They can't train any more skills. They max out the skills within their race. Now, obviously, if you quadruple the number of races that every alpha can fly the ships of, that quadruples the skills. That pushes up to 2 million, 20 million, right? There's overlap though, so it's not pure. And then you get to add stuff for large weapons and blah, blah, blah. Other things alphas are getting on top of the overlap. So the new cap for alphas is going to be about 21 million skill points. Okay, I wish it was 31, but it's 21. It's going to be about 21 million skill points. But here's the stickler. After as an alpha, you train your first 5 million skill points. You stop training, just like now. So you still train to 5 million, and then it stops. And then if you want to train more than that, you either have to inject skills or you have to subscribe for Plex, okay? But the difference is, because right now it's the same thing, right? As an alpha, you train up to 5 million skill points, you hit that wall, and you're like, I want to train other stuff. I want to fly battleship. You subscribe, you train up to battleship skills. But then when you unsubscribe, when you go back from being Omega to an alpha, you lose access to all your Omega skills. You can't fly a battleship. But that's still going to be true, but what's going to happen now is because that alpha skill set is larger, if you train any skills that are still in the alpha skill set, okay, and then you stop subscribing, you will keep up to that 21 million. So for instance, let's say I train Galente and Amar battleship skills and the large weapons required for them under alpha. To do that, that's going to be about 10 million skill points probably, maybe like 9 million skill points. I'm going to reach 5 million, and then for the next 4 million, I either have to inject them or I have to subscribe. I'm going to train, get my battleship skills. Let's say I train those battleships. I love flying battleships, so I actually train to Tech 2 battleships, okay, as an Omega now because I'm subscribed. I train into a Marauder. I'm training to Marauders. Now, let's say my subscription lapses, okay? Now I'm no longer an Omega, so I cannot fly a Tech 2 battleship, but I still retain those battleship skills. I still retain all the skills that are still Omega Alpha skills, okay? So there you go. Let me catch up. Yeah, you can see my net worth. You can see this character's net worth. That's what you can see. That's what you can see, buddy boy. That's what you can see. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. I'm getting paper. No, but seriously, I got a lot of cash on me, which I don't normally have because of Vegas. We're like trying to pay for dinners and stuff, and you're trying to split it with who knows, like 30 people, and it's like, all right, just throw it on my credit card and give me cash, guys, because we can't spend all night doing the math. So yeah, hold on a second. Vernalis, hello. Yes, I'm very happy about my Wingspan anniversary. Thank you. Can you extract skills from Alpha's head? So right now, an Alpha can't extract skills because the minimum skill requirement to extract from an Alpha is 5.5 million skills. But because going forward, Alphas can train past 5 million skills and they'll be required to pay for it, I believe they should be able to extract. They will be able to extract. How long does it take to train 20 million skill points? If you're subscribed to Eve and you have a good remap, I think you train just around 2 million skill points a month. It's like 1.8 or something. I think if you have perfect remap, you might be able to hit 2 million with the right implants and all that stuff. And that's the thing, right? Implants, you still can't get the top level implants as alphas. So it should take, assuming that you take the first 5 million skill points for free and you're training at half speed, that's like that's 5 months basically, okay? Maybe 4 months because you start with some skills. So that's 4 months of training, and then you want to get the next 15 million at like about 2 each, that's 7. So it'd be just about 1 year, I believe, just about 1 year to hit the 20 million skill point cap if you're subscribed the entire time after you get the free skill points. So yeah, there you go. Someone else just said it, 1 year. Why does everyone complain about cloaky camping? We'll get to that separately. Oh man. Oh man, dinners. It's dinners. Let me tell you something, guys. There's a video out there of me pole dancing at the Dre's nightclub at E Vegas. If that video ever surfaces, I'm deleting my channel. Just putting that out there. What would happen if you had over 40 million SP? The same thing that would happen to me. So right now, let's say I'm an Omega right now, right? Born and raised Omega. So I'm right here. And I have how many skill points now? I don't even know. 93.7 million. Okay. I have 93.7 million. Let's say Johnny Pugh is now following. Johnny, I expected that you would have been following this whole time. I know it. I know it. So So let's say I stopped being an Omega. I unsubscribed. I want to be an Alpha. I ran out of money or whatever it is. Okay. So what would happen is I would just lose all my Omega only skills. So let me just give you an example, right? While we're here in missiles, I would lose. Let's say I open up the missile bombardment. Oh, does it not? Oh, it doesn't. If you're already an Omega, it doesn't show you. Someone should change that. Okay. This is a UI thing. CCP should add this. I wish it showed you. I guess if you're already an Omega, it does not show you. I would lose my missile bombardment level down to whatever the alpha maximum is. I would lose my missile projection level from 5 down to whatever the alpha maximum is. Rocket specialization. I know the alphas are going to be allowed to use Tech 2 rockets now under the new system, but I don't know what the maximum level is. My guess is they're just going to make it level 1 or 2, just enough that you can use Tech 2 guns, launchers. So my guess is this is going to go from level 4 down to level 1. Target navigation is going to go down. Torpedoes is a battleship level skill, so this should be available as the new wave of alpha players, but it's not going to be torpedoes 5. I hugely doubt it, and especially because you can't have Tech 2 weapons, large weapons as alpha. So this is going to drop from 5 down to whatever it is, probably like 3 or 4, 2 or 3 or 4, something like that. Okay. I unfollow and refollow just to mess with people. Johnny, you scoundrel. Oh, man. Yeah, and someone's saying here, to lure back old players instead of new ones. I think that's 100% true. There's so many people who are lapsed players in EVE and they want to come back, but they can't. They either can't justify the price because they just don't want to. They don't have the money. Maybe that's the reason they're lapsed, is because money was tight and they don't want to pay $10 or $15 a month. Or maybe they just don't feel like it's worth it. Maybe they feel like they already spent a lot on Netflix and other stuff, so they don't want to spend it. That's fine. Or cocaine's not cheap, guys. It's not. It doesn't buy itself, whatever. So the point of what I was saying is that your skill levels are going to drop down to whatever those alpha caps are. So let me give you another example, right? Let's say I'm trying to find the right. Let's say I drop down to alpha now. I lose all of these skills because these are Tech 3 skills for subsystems, okay? All these skills go away. All these skills in here, most of these market trading skills all go away. Neural enhancement, most of these skills go away. These are mainly Omega skills. A lot of this stuff is. Not all of it, but a lot of it is. Planetary management, well, I don't have it, but if I did, it would be going away. So there you go. All right. All right, so this is big for alphas. This is really big. This is gonna, yes, it's going to bring back a lot of lapsed players. It's gonna retain a lot of current players because they're gonna be like, oh well, I'm running out of money, or maybe this is another thing. You gotta understand. A lot of people obviously pay their subs in cash, right? But a lot of other people pay their subs in Plex, right? And they grind IS to buy Plex, and that's how they pay for their sub. Now these people, they might not have a choice. Like, oh, I already rat 24 hours a day in a Macarial or whatever the hell they use. Let's say they're in a rattlesnake or whatever. And the whole point of me ratting is so I can make 1.5 billion ISK a month to pay my subscription and stay in this rattlesnake. Now, if you say to that same player, wait a second, buddy. I've got a proposition for you. Hold on a second. Click on that wrong goddamn. Wait, is it? No, Garistas? There you go. Sorry. The Garistas bunny. I always think Garistas is an Empire faction when I first see it. So let's say you're like, wait a second. I'm playing this game like crazy every month to save 1.5 billion ISK just so I can stay in this rattlesnake. That's insane. And keep playing this game. Now, if you say, wait a second, if you switch to alpha, I got a deal for you. You can stay in your rattlesnake. It'll do less damage. It'll have less tank, but you can stay in it. And you can keep that 1.5 billion ISK a month. So maybe you're making 2 billion ISK a month and you're only pocketing 500 mil. Now you can pocket all 2 billion ISK a month because you don't have to pay a subscription fee at all. 0 subscription fee. Stay in your rattlesnake, enjoy your rattlesnake, and guess what? Every month, if you lose a rattlesnake, you'll be able to afford to repay it now. That's huge. That is huge for player retention. That's enormous. Absolutely enormous. We got Kel here. We got someone who likes orange soda, Mr. Chafe. They don't go away. Yeah, so when you go from Omega to Alpha, your skills don't go away. They're just inaccessible. So as soon as you resub, they come back. They come back right away. All right. Like your style. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for liking my style. Show me what you got. Is there an ISK cap? What does that mean? October Beauty, what does that mean? There's no ISK cap. The only ISK cap, actually, October Beauty, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. There's a hard ISK cap in this game. It's in the CCP end user license agreement that if you make more than 1 billion ISK a month, you're required to send 310 million ISK to Chance Ravine every month. It's required. It's in the terms of service. You can look it up. You can read all of it. It's in there. But if you want to save your time, I would just send the money now, just to make sure. What routes think would be useful without heavy drones? You'll still have heavy weaponry. You just won't have Tech 2 heavy weaponry as an alpha. All right. And hey, I believe there's no requirements other than Heavy Drones 1 in order to use geckos. I believe it. Other than you can use geckos if you got the cash, and now you're going to be freeing up 1.5 billion ISK a month. You can afford a few geckos. You can. All right? Especially with Garistas coming out. Garisters. Shut it. Definitely rigged. The system is rigged. That's how I won the CSM election, boys. The system is rigged towards people who run a campaign. It's a fact. There you go. Unlimited battleships. Wally was there. Wally, were you there? Were you there, man? Hold on. I gotta know. Wally. Will they be able to train Drones 5? That's a good question. I have no idea. That has not been released yet. So what Wally is joking about was that at Eve Vegas, Wally, who are you flying with, man? Who are you with? Oh, you're sitting right next to me. Oh, okay. At Eve Vegas, at the round table with CCP Rise about ship balance and module balance, after all this alpha stuff, or was it clone states? I don't know. Anyway, there was this guy who stood up in the back of the room who's clearly still kind of drunk from the party before, and he was like, hold on, I need to get like a straight face. I need to like think about exactly how he came across. He had like a goatee or something. And he was like, CCP Rise, I want you to know that you have destroyed Wormhole space with these changes. What you're doing is you are giving Hard Knocks access to unlimited battleships. And unlimited pilots to do unlimited damage and unlimited fleets. You destroyed Wormhole space. And all right, so fine. So the guy had his point. He was concerned that HK and them would make all their members, hello YOLO, that they would make everyone in their corp make like 10 alpha accounts, fit them up on Macarials, seed those Macarials into the home Wormhole systems of people that they might want to evict one day. And then when the time is right, like those people are on vacation, they're sleeping, whatever, they're just like, everyone log in on Laserhawk's hole 3864281, or something like that. Everyone log into, whatever. Everyone log into Scary Wormhole people's hole right now, and we'll evict them because we got alphas in there. And, it's like the guy had, it's a fair point. It's a fair point to consider. But, like, basically every time CCP Rise answers questions about, well, we don't think that's necessarily a problem, or if it becomes a problem, we can always scale things back or change how system works. We'd rather people get into fights to start with. And then if they get in too many fights or the fights are abusive, then we can tone things back. But the guy just wouldn't take a hint. He was like, every single time, he's like, well, he would like sit down, and then like other people have questions. Like I was raising my hand, other people were raising their hands, and he just kept like staying up. Like, well, hold on, I don't think you understand. This is access to unlimited Macarials and unlimited. And Rise is like, well, you're saying it's unlimited, but it's not, because if you're saying that the only reason it's not unlimited, because your unlimited Macarials cost unlimited ISK, right? If you have unlimited ISK already, you could just Plex unlimited characters, right? You could just put extra Plex aside for each one of these Macarials right now, and anytime you want Omega them, and then turn them on inside these seeded systems, right? And do the exact same thing you're saying. And the guy just would not take. He must have asked the same question like 5 times in a row. It's infuriating, but also really funny. Hello, Last Doll KG, Last Doll G, Last Doll Kilograms. Thank you for watching me and Johnny Pugh. Okay, so there you go. So let me catch up now with some questions as I tell this stupid story. There's people giggling in chat. Darth Terona. We got people playing Drones 5. Oh, they can do Drones 5 now? Okay, then. There you go. I thought alphas couldn't train Drones 5. It depends on the alpha, right? I know for a fact that I believe Kadari can only train Drones 3 as it is, but maybe Galente can train Drones 5 and Amar can train Drones 4, and I don't know. That's my guess. I haven't made one of every race. I have made a couple alphas, but I didn't necessarily check the drone levels on all of them. All right, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can all do Drones 5. All right. Okay. All right. Catch up. Infinite Macarials, infinite sister probes, unlimited power. Hello, Thylo1988. Hello. All right. So that was a big part of the discussion there. Now I'm going to talk to the ore ships, and this is a really big deal, okay? And my face is not glowing because I'm divine. It's because I'm holding up my Samsung Galaxy S7 with the Wingspan sticker on it. You know you're fucking jealous. Don't lie. All right. Do people reply to my kill mails? I would say only about 5 to 10% people reply to my kill mails. Okay? All right, so people want to know, and I asked this actually at the round table too. I specifically asked Rise this. You guys are opening up all the pirate faction ships, all the Empire ships, up to all the subcaps, Tech 1 subcaps, and Navy ships and whatever, to alphas. Right now, alphas can fly mining frigates, Tech 1, but are you going to open this up so they can also fly like the Noctis, these other ships here, the barges and Noctis and all that stuff? And his answer was no. His answer is no. And I was like, oh, are you guys concerned about the economy of ore? Are you guys, is it either you're concerned about the economy? Is it you're concerned about something else? Like, is it a balance issue? What is it? And he said there's several issues. There's several issues. And again, it's not that this would never change, but this is their thinking right now. So CCP's thinking with this is a couple things. One is that, yes, obviously with infinite exhumers and infinite mining barges and infinite salvage ships, that it could disrupt the game, right? Because those are more AFK activities, they're more easily botted. You could easily definitely disrupt the game, or just like if every fucking kid in South America just became a miner or something, and that would just be a massive disruption. I don't know. So all I'm saying is, so that was concern 1. Concern 2 was that he was basically saying it's like a gameplay decision around limiting alphas so much. Like new players, right? If they start out as alphas, what he says that they want to do is to guide players towards skill training that's very broad. Okay, so if you're training into drones are useful in PvE, they're useful in PvP, they're useful in salvage, in mining, and blah blah blah. They're useful in lots of stuff. Okay, all right. But if you're training mining skills, specifically the mining skills, those are only useful in mining. And he's concerned that if alphas train, especially at half the speed that omegas train, if they train into something really narrow like mining, that they wouldn't be able to, like, they might get bored with the game and they'd have to take so long to train into other stuff that they'd give up. Okay, and he's like the same thing. Like, let's say PI, right? Let's say an alpha spent their first 3 months this game only training PI skills, and they're like, wait a second, I don't like PI, this is boring. Then what are they going to do? Now they have all these PI related skills and there's nothing they can do with them. It's not like training up the hulls of the other ships, not like training weapon systems or shields or navigation. It's too narrow. It's the same thing, market trading, all that stuff. It's too narrow. It's not that they don't want people to do it, but they don't want people to start off doing it, because if that turns them off from the game, it could turn them off as potential EVE players and content for everybody. So if they want to do that, they can subscribe, but they should be a little bit more invested in the game to start with. Okay? Now here's reason number 3, all right, and this is a big reason. This is another reason he said, is that the reality is that things like mining, PI, hauling, market trading, all right, all those like super narrow things I talked about, blueprints, all that research stuff, all that stuff I just talked about. He says that there's a huge number of characters that do those activities that are basically people's like 3rd or 4th alts. They're basically accounts that are subscribed to only do this tiny activity, and it's not their primary activity at all. Like, people just like sign on occasionally, do this thing just to do it once, and then they sign out and that's it. Okay? And he said basically there's actually a real concern that if those skills went alpha, okay, if you didn't have to pay for them anymore, that literally overnight, like tens of thousands of EVE Online accounts would be unsubbed. Like they would just lose millions of dollars in one night, forever. So, and because those aren't people's main accounts, they're not like, you're not gonna like spend tons of money on like, he didn't say this, but I'm just gonna say, you know, on your main, you're gonna spend money on extractors, you're gonna spend money on fancy skins and clothes for your character, you're gonna Plex when you want, you know, you're gonna buy Plex for your character and bling it out and buy blingy ships, right? You're not gonna do that with your market trading alt, right? You're not gonna do that with your like salvage alt who's sitting in a Noctis, right? Those characters only exist for utility, all right? So whereas an alpha who's flying a Macarial or whatever might be, oh, I'll pay extra for my Macarial skin. It looks cool. I'll pay extra for this clothing for my character. I really like my character. It's a huge financial liability. It'd be a huge, enormous financial liability to just take all those secondary characters and just make them free instantly. So again, maybe that will change one day, but right now it's a liability for those three reasons. So boring new players, potentially destroying the economy, and then potentially destroying CCP's economy of subscribed players. So those are the three reasons why they're not planning to open alpha skill sets to some of those things like the mining barges and some of the other and planetary interaction, things like that. Okay, so let me catch up with some questions here. I've been talking for a couple of minutes. And thank you everyone who's been following Nightfall. Thank you for following. Okay. You can't multi-box alphas. So that, and multi-boxing alphas only covers the one issue. It only covers the one issue. It doesn't cover the other issues. Okay. Cocat liked my idea about the cloak. Thank you very much. Can only use one computer per alpha account, blah, 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 blah. Infinite production is A-okay. Listen, I'm not going to argue everything else for CCP. I'm just trying to tell you what Rise told me in that room. Okay. How many hours is that each month just to Plex? I have no idea. Don't agree with locking behind a paywall. It's like it's some kind of hot shit. Mining drove my friends away from the game. I can see that too, right? One thing I will say about mining that's actually a good idea, and you see this now, is the CCP is making mining more and more PvP related, right? Like resource wars, part of resource wars, you need to mine in order to complete the resource war. So there's mining, but the mining is actively part of a PvE and potentially PvP activity, right? The moon mining that's active now is going to be, like they need active people on field in mining ships, and those people can't, like, I think what's going to happen, you're going to see is a lot of those players, you can't afford to just have your mining alts out there mining. Like, yes, they can, but at the same time, at any time someone like Wingspan or someone like Volta or someone's going to show up and they're going to want to hit your Oracle, they're going to want to hit all of your ships sitting there. Now, you might have a defense fleet or something, but it'd be really good if your mining characters also had some combat skills so they could fly back into the refinery and switch into a combat ship and come out and fight, or they could go into the refinery and man the guns, and they have really good structure weaponry skills, and they could shoot off the attackers. So CCP is doing a really good job of closing the gap between mining and other content. But it's going to take a long while, and I think once that gap's been closed totally, like maybe they're going to have it so that mining lasers. You know, I always thought it'd be really funny if like you could fire a mining laser at a ship, and it would directly hurt their structure. It would do shitty. It would do like 1 DPS, but it would hurt their hull directly. It would bypass their shields, bypass the armor. It would do 1 DPS to their hull, but slowly but surely, eventually, that mining laser would destroy that ship. It's gonna take a long time. But it's there. It's there. It would just feel really funny to do to people. I think they should just add it just for the lulz of it. But it would be really funny. Okay. Pay to wait. All right. It's like you're playing the stock market. Question: was I being trolled when I was told killing alphas is no longer give kill marks? I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I'm pretty sure alphas give kill marks. Certain things don't give kill marks. I don't think blowing up a pod gives a kill mark. I could be wrong. Okay. So it's a hybrid free-to-play. Yes. Okay. People here. What happened to the 3 billion Tengu that I lost earlier? I told that story already, but I do have it on video. I will be putting a YouTube video together for that next week. Hopefully early next week. Just depends how much time I get to edit over the weekend. Okay, because I got a couple family events over the weekend, but we'll see. Wow, I got a lot of chat to catch up with. All right, no mind shifts for alphas. Okay. So, what else do I want to talk about? What else? Oh, the other thing I was saying is I asked him, do they expect, because obviously alphas are still going to want to mine whether or not you let them have mining barges. So I said, hey CCP, do you think what's going to happen is you're going to see a return to like 2005 Eve, and you're going to see people mining in Abaddons? You think so? Because with 8 high slots, I think it's very, very possible you're going to see some mining battleships coming out from alphas. And he just laughed, which probably means he hopes so. So look for it. So alphas are not limited to the venture for mining. They can roll up in a in an Abaddon whenever the hell they want, okay? And let loose. They're gonna let loose and just fucking mine in a goddamn battleship. Awesome. First time I've heard about these upcoming alpha clone changes. Johnny Pugh, I'm glad to inform you. Okay. So, let me talk about some other stuff. What do I want to talk about next? Structures. Some other structure changes that are a big deal. First up is that CCP talked about their structure roadmap, okay? What is in the future for EVE Online in the next 3 months to like a year out, right? Because we haven't seen that roadmap in a while. I think the last time we saw it really is when I first started playing the game. When I first started playing the game right after... oh my god, what expansion was that? The one that Stratios came out in. Anyway, it was in 2014. And... excuse me. The thing is that the roadmap had, okay, we're going to build new structures. There's going to be structures for your market. There's going to be structures for refining stuff. There's going to be structures for, for blueprints. There's going to be structures. We're going to have player-built Stargates to go to new space and to jump around outer space and control who enters your system. We're going to have advertising structures where you can put up giant statues and things like that. We're going to have observatories where you can find cloaky ships in your system, or you can look through a big telescope, space telescope, and see if there's an enemy fleet forming 2 systems over, things like that. Or you could turn local chat on and off. So he talked about all these structures. So basically he went back and said that the roadmap is still on their way, that right now with refineries they're like halfway there pretty much. So, and they're still planning most of those structures. So, observatories, it sounded like they weren't going to do. He didn't mention observatories at all. He specifically called out the structures they were working on. Now, I'm not saying that CCP is not going to do it, but if they're going to do it, it's going to be after all these other new structures. So, he talked about advertising structures. And hello, Greyhawk. Thank you. Good to see you too. And I guess you've been playing as long as... you just saw me when I started out. So advertising structures was a big thing, right? So you'll be able to anchor structure and put up like banners and messages and holographic images of your CEO or the player in your corp who's got the top kills, or it can show like banners that you design, logos and banners that you design of your alliance and corporation or whatever that go on the structures. It looked really cool. In the art panel, they showed off some ideas for it. And if you have a chance, and I did tweet this out a couple of days ago, you really have to watch the art panel from day 3 of EVE Vegas, because they show some stuff and it looks amazing. And one thing that they showed in the art panel, which everyone's been waiting for, is logos on spaceships. Is straight up logos on spaceships. And I'm gonna try to find the best example. This isn't the thing, but it's close to the thing. Why can't I carrier? Here we go. Is this Chimera? Hold on a second. Do they have the skin with the... Maybe it doesn't exist yet. Or it was still being worked on, right? Anyway, CCP had shown off before, I believe, a Chimera skin that has holographic banners on it, okay? And what they showed was they could create a special mapping around the ship so that your alliance logo as a little circle or whatever, square circle, could like hover just outside the skin of the ship, so it's not a skin on the ship, so they don't have to fix the textures on the ship. They have the technology to make it appear, and it looks really nice. And then you could design a colored banner with different stripes and patterns on it that could wrap around the top or the sides of the ship or hang from the sides of the ship, and that's something that the corp leadership could design and drop on the ship. It looks fabulous. There's no way for me to explain it. You have to see it in motion. You have to watch it. It's the day 3 video on demand of EVE Vegas, and it's at the 4-hour mark, like the 4-hour and 15-minute mark. So check it out. Okay, so that's amazing. They also showed the ability to, once player-owned Stargates exist, or even before that exists, that it's potentially like, let's say you're about to jump into a nullsec system and people have sovereignty there, that as you're coming in, before you jump, that the holographic banners will be draped down from the gate. So you're about to enter Goonswarm space, or PL space, or whatever space it is, Russian Legion of Death, that all their logos and banners will be draped around the gate, like huge, like hundreds of kilometers. It'll look amazing. It just blow you away. And it'll be like, wait a second, oh my god, it's these guys, they're my enemies, or whatever it is. Like, it'll be really intimidating, like hovering around that gate with your fleet, knowing you're about to invade. I don't know, it's really cool. It looked awesome. So they talked about advertising structures. They talked about Stargates. They're working on Stargates. They say that the whole moving to new space thing is still on the table, but that would be longer term. That functionally, to start out, they'd focus more on something that's closer to jump drive technology. So you have the jump bridges that are attached to passes right now. So you could use a jump bridge. You could jump from one gate to another gate. You set them up on opposite sides. You jump from them. They said it's possible they could also attach potentially like Sino capabilities directly into the structure, so that you could Sino to the structure, like the structure itself could light the Sino beacon. But again, that's not confirmed. That's just like something that Fozzie was talking about that could potentially happen. I believe he's saying that. I'm trying to remember who said that. But I remember it being said by a dev. So, and I'm definitely not intoxicated at all, so you can trust my memory 100%. So anyway, I'm going to join the game again after a 2 or 3 year hiatus. Can't get access to that. That's a shame. It was the Vexor. Yeah, they showed the Vexor with those skins. Yeah, so it was amazing. It's going to be jump bridges to start, and then beyond that, they could go to maybe Sinos, then beyond that, they could potentially go to new space. Hey, Joe's space is there. Joe's space is there. Or it'd be cool, even if you could do things like use the Stargate to jump to a wormhole space, but you couldn't control where you jump to wormhole space. Like, you activate the Stargate, and you're like, you calibrate it, so it's like, this is going to take us into a C4. You have no idea what C4 is going to take you into, and the mass limit is super low, so you can't take a big fleet or anything like that. But let's say you want to go rat in a C4, you hit it and you go fucking jump into a random C4, and it'd be kind of fun if you didn't get an exit back out, or the timer's like super low, so you gotta like get in and get out. But there you go. So enemy banners. They talked about, okay, so now let me go back to another thing I want to talk about. This is the structure changes, the structure security changes, and I know, guys, that I'm not blowing things up this time. This stream is just to talk about the future of EVE Online, because it's really exciting. Hilmar, the CEO of CCP, said at EVE Vegas that the number of online players is up 18% year over year, the number of total players. Now, I know some people will dispute that, right? Because if you look at the PCU, it's like exactly the same as it was last year, again. But I believe, because that's peak concurrent users, it's the highest each day. I think what he was trying to say is that basically that the average users, the total number of users per day is up. Not that the highest peak of number of people at any given time is up. And to me, that actually shows that, to me, what that says is that that my initial prediction about alphas was correct, in the sense that I believe that alphas would open up a huge number of new players in who are young, right? Who are teenagers, kids, things like that, who maybe they play weird time zones and stuff because they're just coming home from school at 2:30 p.m. or things like that. So kids who are in anywhere, and then people from countries all over the world where the subscription fee for $10 a month, whatever, for EVE Online is just too much money, right? Because their currency is weaker, because they just don't have as much income compared to Americans and Europeans or whatever, or anything like that. So I think the fact that the peak concurrent users, the peak is about the same, but that the overall volume is up 18%. My guess is that people are playing in off-peak times, and they're playing in time zones where people aren't necessarily represented as much. They're playing earlier in the day, things like that. So that's again, just my guess, I have no idea. I don't know. Did they say anything about the pending sale of CCP? To be fair, I believe that I looked into that, the pending sale of CCP, and it's not. It was the sale of CCP from their current holding company to another holding company. So they're currently owned by, it's like CCPHF is owned by some holding investment firm, and that investment firm is selling off some of its shares to another investment firm. So I don't know the details of it, but it's not quite like CCP as a whole is getting sold as much as some of its investors are cashing out. I don't know. I don't know enough about this kind of stuff to speak about it, so I don't want to start any crazy rumors. I don't know. Cash paying users is all that matters, and CDJ Con Twitch, I 100% disagree. You're wrong. Cash paying users is all that matters. That's wrong. Okay? Here's why you're wrong. Okay? And I'm gonna say this as politely as possible. So, first of all, if CCP is just going to go out here and say, you know what, we're going to expand alpha clones from this tiny number of ships to 5 times this number of ships, right? If they're willing to do that, potentially throwing away tens and tens of thousands of subscriptions, why would they be so confident to do that, right? Why? Well, the answer is simple. It's because skill extractors are selling an insane amount of money. Skill extractors, Plex, skins, and other cosmetics are clearly making an insane amount of money for EVE Online. I think when skill extractors were first introduced, that they posted the sales data or the number of skills extractors. Someone looked at the Vegeta market, how many got sold, and it was insane. When you think about how much money those made for CCP in just literally one day, it probably made more money than the Character Bazaar has made for EVE Online in like the last 5 years as an income source, okay? So that's something to keep in mind, all right? So there's that. So CCP is thinking like, okay, let's say for every 1 Omega we gain 3 alphas, right? So you're losing $10 a month from that Omega. If those alpha players at any point buy one, like a skin, a couple skins, a couple extractors, they subscribe for a little while and then don't, whatever, they can make up for that easily. And even if they break totally even, the difference is now you have 3 times more players in space. You have 3 times more players in the game making the same amount of money. And having more players doesn't cost CCP anything. It costs like 0.0000001% more electricity and load on their servers, right? It costs a tiny bit more. They might have to hire a couple more customer service people, right? People to answer tickets and solve disputes or bug reports and things like that. But skins, Plex, extractors, sexy stuff on your character, all that stuff, it's obviously working, or CCP wouldn't have doubled down on alphas if it wasn't working. They're doing this because it's working, because it's making them money, okay? So users with cash. Yes, it's cash. I'm sorry. Yes, it's cash. Although it's not necessarily directly cash, right? The alphas, it might be driving demand from other places. Like the alphas could be making lots of ISK. They could be ratting in their materials now, making that 2 billion ISK a month, and instead of spending it directly or trying to figure out, they might be using that money to buy stuff from other players, and those other players are getting stuff through Plex or whatever. So, I don't know. Who's going to be playing the mobile version of EVE Online? Yes, CCP did announce that they have a mobile game coming out that's like a mini EVE Online. It's not connected to EVE Online. Right now it's called Project Aurora. I didn't actually get a chance to play it. I was just too busy. Does it look like an amazing game? It looks okay. But as far as like a mobile game, time waster, while you're like waiting in a meeting room before everyone else shows up, while you're on the toilet, or when you're just at a gas station and everyone in every other state has to pump their own gas, but anything like that, it could be a good time to get an EVE feel, a good EVE experience, just for like 5 or 10 minutes at a time, whatever, really, really light. So, what the hell was I saying about this? Hilmar, 18%. I was talking about alphas, alliance logos, the game on ship, and structures. Okay, structures. This is big. Okay, So CCP is changing structure. Let me just pick up a picture. Let's go look at a structure. So while we talk about structures, I heard you like structure, so I'm gonna put some structured content in your structure talk, so you can look at structures while we talk about structures. Okay. So basically, everyone on the forums and on the internet and on Reddit for the last 2 years, or maybe 1 year, has been complaining that structure is too hard to kill. Too annoying to kill, rather. And this is something I totally agree with. As CEO of a PvP corporation, yes, it's a ganking corp. As someone who used to be a CSM, when I was on CSM, I advocated as much as possible for making it. Hold on a second. Here we go. For making it accessible to destroy structures and to make it so that destroying structures wasn't incredibly difficult. I did manage to get some wins on the CSM, like making sure that in Wormhole space the structures dropped fucking loot and that they could also be destroyed over a weekend. I was 100% with Corbex on this. We were on the same side, making sure that the normies in K-Space understood how things are supposed to work in Wormhole space, okay? So there's a couple changes that are coming in structures that are going to make them way easier to kill, okay? This is big. Now, one of these changes is coming soon. I think it's coming to Lifeblood. So right now when you anchor a structure, you put it down, you drag in a space, you set all the timers and blah, 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 and then it starts anchoring for 24 hours, right? Then after, I'm just talking about generally speaking. Then after the 24-hour timer, when that ends, there's a 15-minute tiny slice window of vulnerability, okay? And during that time, if it's attacked, the structure gets blown up. Okay, it's already in hull. If you attack it during that time, then that's it. Okay, so now they're going to change it so that when you anchor the structure, when you first drag it to space, you set the timers before that 24-hour timer starts. First, there's going to be a 15-minute timer. So if someone can attack it right when you drop it, they can destroy it. Like if they're on grid with you and you're trying to just like drop a structure to like laugh at them, you won't be able to do it, because they'll be able to blow it up in that 15-minute window. So now there's 2 timers before it truly anchors, all right? Another change, and this is a huge change, this is enormous change that people have been asking for nonstop, is that structures, right now, people complain that structures, it's like they could be abandoned in space and they still take 3 grinds to kill across 2 timers. It could take like 8 days to destroy them. And like literally someone could just crap out 100 Astra houses in a system, 100 Rataros, nothing you could do about it, and they're just a pain. That means 300 fights that you had to have in order to clear them out, which is insane. So what CCP has said, and they finally agreed to do this, is that structures will have an active and an inactive state. So just like now, the active state is, hold on a second, I'm gonna get a little, you know what, let me change my perspective here a little so I can, we should see what this thing really looks like. Okay, that's a lot better. I want to see the real Fortizar. No, the real one. Perfection. Okay. Why can't I? There we go. So you see it's active, right? It's got little ships flying around. All the lights are on. Everything looks happy. The ship looks, the Fortizar looks great. They're going to make an inactive state. And the inactive state is determined by when there are no services that are fueled inside the structure. So right now, you don't need to fuel the structure itself. The structure itself works fine without fuel. You can tether, you can dock, blah, 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 blah. But if you want to run a market, if you want to do like any of the big services that are actually in the structure, okay, you need to fuel those services. So now, if all of your services are unfueled, literally there's none of them that have 0 fuel left, the structure becomes inactive. And what that means is it's going to look different. Just like when the structure is reinforced into hull, you know, it gets the little red crosses outside. It looks really sad. All the lights get dim, all that stuff, okay? Structure is going to go inactive, and this is going to do 2 things to structure. 3 things. One is that, yes, the services will be offline because they're not fueled, so that's a given. 2 is that the structure will have reduced resistances so that when you're bashing it, it takes way less damage to keep it at maximum damage, and so you'll be able to much more easily reinforce it. And the third one, this is huge, is that there will be no armor timer. So after you do the shield bash, which is now also going to be easier, you remove the shields go away, and then instead of there being a second timer now where you got to remove the first timer where you got to remove the armor, that's not going to happen. It's going to go straight to hull. All right, it's going to go straight to hull. The armor is going to be stripped while it's inactive, and then you just have to show up for the hull timer to destroy it. So it's going to cut down the grind by 33% by removing the armor timer, plus it's going to make the grind easier by reducing the resistances. Okay. Yeah. So that's one thing. And what were they thinking when they made Astro House only one bill? What they were thinking, sad doggies, that there are a lot of people out there who are begging to make the smallest Astro House a replacement for a small POS. Because there's a lot of solo players out there, a lot of small corporations out there that use small POSes. And those players, when being told that POS is going to be removed from the game, if you were going to tell them the only solution to replace a POS is going to be a 10 or 20 billion structure, they probably would just quit EVE Online. So that's what they were thinking. As a CSM member, I can tell you that's what they were thinking. So yes, nope, it's going to be shield and then hull. And here's the reason why the armor thing is getting skipped. So this is the other huge change that's going to be happening to structures, is that, so right now it's like the defender sets their timers, right? It's like you can attack the shields during the defender's vulnerability. You can attack the armor during the defender's vulnerability time and days. You can attack the hull during, so basically the shield can only be attacked at a time and day that the defender decides, and then it goes into armor based on how much time elapses after that, but still at the defender's prime time, and then it goes into hull like much later in defender's prime time again, right? So defender has all the advantages every single timer. So the new paradigm is going to be completely balanced. So instead of the way it is now, it's going to be that on the first timer, okay, the shield is going to be vulnerable 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. Just like a POS is vulnerable 24 hours a day, just like a Poco is vulnerable 24 hours a day. And what this means is that the attackers get to choose the time and the day that the first attack happens. Okay? So at the shield, at the first attack, it's not a timer, but the first attack, the first engagement, the attackers have the complete advantage. They have the element of surprise, and they can attack during their prime time on whatever day they want. Okay? The second timer, the armor timer, and that's why, by the way, there you go. The second armor timer, the first timer, which is the second attack on armor, is going to take place. Hold on. It's going to take place on the time of the day of the attack. It's going to take place, I believe, on the reinforcement prime time of the defenders, but like one day later from the attackers, right? So what's going to happen is basically the attackers get to choose what day that happens, because it's going to be one day after when they attack. So if they attack on Saturday, the armor happens on a Sunday, okay? All right, so they get to choose that. Oh, we want to hit them on Monday and Tuesday. We want to hit them on Wednesday and Thursday. We want to hit them on whatever. They can choose that, but the time that comes out of reinforcement is going to be up to defender. That timer is going to be on the defender's prime time, I believe, okay? And then the last timer is going to be on a day and a time of the defender's choosing. So if the defender has their prime time set for Thursday at 6 p.m. on their time zone, that's when it's going to come out for the final timer. So it goes from shield, which is the attacker's advantage. They're choosing. They get to choose when they get to choose when it happens, on what terms. Hull, it's 100% on defender's advantage. So they get to choose when and where is that the structure, exactly what time and day it happens. And armor is a compromise between the two of them, and it's a great system. It's really totally fair. I think it's a perfect change. I think we're going to see a lot of content, a lot of more interesting fights. People are concerned there's going to be trolls happening. People are going to roam around in battleships and just reinforce shields for fun. That's called a roaming content fleet. That's called getting fights in space. That's called making the owners of those citadels log in for those timers. And even if they don't show up for the armor timer, now those people are logged in. Maybe they'll go roaming. Maybe they'll want to get revenge and go to other people's space and go reinforce their timers. Maybe fights will happen along the way. Maybe Bomber's Bar fleet will catch all those battleships on the way and blow them all up and third party them. That's called content. That's what EVE Online's about. Making people log in, making people fight, giving them a reason to fight because it's fun, because they get something out of it, even if what they get out of it is other people's tears. All right? Yeah, so it's a huge change. Absolutely enormous. This is going to be huge for Wormhole space, for K space, everywhere. Yeah. Okay, here. So let me see. Let's see here. I'm just catching up on some questions. So 15 minutes at the start. I did talk about that before. The 15, 24, 15. That's still going to happen. Some people here saying they used to think that Wingspan delivery services was a real delivery agent. And by the way, guys, can I just say I got a decent number of people watching right now. If you're watching this stream on the CCP channel and you like what I do, please consider following me on my channel at Wingspan TT, which you can see my stupid logo and whatever there. I could, whatever. I'll just put it in there. It would mean a lot to me if you like what I'm doing, if you like my content, you like my approach to commentary. I know I'm not the best. I know I'm not the second best or the third best. I'm only the fourth best. If you like what I'm doing, please consider following me on my own channel. I stream some nights on the CCP channel and some nights on my own channel. My focus is on EVE Online primarily. I also do EVE Valkyrie. I play some other games, which I'm kind of dabbling in right now. But right now, like right this instant, I've been playing a lot of EVE and EVE Valkyrie. And I am space famous, so EVE Online is going to be my main game for a long time to come. So yeah, this is a big change. Someone said they don't think the armor timer is a good compromise. I guess it depends. It depends. But right now, you don't have a choice, right? Like right now, let's say I wanted to attack this thing right now. Well, it's secure for the next three days. I don't have an option. Let's say let's say me and my corp is going on vacation 3 days, and we're only gonna be here today and tomorrow. Well, under the new system, right? I don't have to wait 3 days to attack this guy when none of us are gonna be here. We can attack it right now, this second, because we're all online. I can grab 20 people and attack this right now. Okay, reinforce this, and then know that sometime tomorrow we have to come back and hit this again. Okay, so I can know that it's up to us to choose when we have 2 days free in order to attack this thing. And thank you everyone who's following. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me to know that I haven't annoyed you out of following the CCP channel. So we could do the first 2 attacks for this thing and then come back, and then with another timer, if this were K space, it would come back in a week. Now here's the thing. In Wormhole space, the mechanics are going to be interesting, right? The mechanics are going to be that it could be a week, it could be just like it is now. It could be concurrent, right? So let's say I attack right now on a Thursday. It's Thursday my time. And then I attack again on Friday, right? But these people have set their final hull timer for Tuesday, right? Under the current rules, when I attack this thing, I can attack this 3 days in a row. Under the new rules, it's going to be 2 days in a row and then another day which could be in a row or could not be in a row. And part of the problem is because this thing is going to be vulnerable 24 hours a day, I'm not going to know the vulnerability schedule. So this is something someone asked about. How do you know the vulnerability schedule when you can't see it? I can see right now what their vulnerability, part of their vulnerability schedule is. I can't see the whole thing, but I can guess at it. Or if I watch them for enough days, I can put it together, okay? So that's a good question. So Fozzie said, it's possible that they could just make it that you could just click, show info on the structure and you'll be able to tell what the timer is. It'll tell you. But he said he doesn't like that approach because it gives too much power to cloaky people like me sitting here like cowards doing nothing, okay? And it also doesn't create content. It doesn't create content for that to happen. He wants people to be out in space. He wants there to be intel that has to be gained and shared. He wants people to know. He wants the owners of this structure to know that other people are trying to figure out when to attack it. He wants them to get paranoid and to build up their forces, start recruiting people and get into fights, right? So he said there's 2 ideas. One is that maybe you decloak and you do a ship scanner or something on it, and it'll tell you, how the structures fit, but it'll also tell you the timer, right? Or they can make a new module called like a structure scanner, and it'll tell you that, okay? The second option, which I think is way cooler, and this goes back to the whole narrow skills versus skills that close the gap and go into PvP and PvE and all that stuff, is that he'd make it so that these people even online. No, I don't like going this slow. I'm just gonna go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. The second option is that you'd be able to use a data analyzer, okay, to hack into the structure, and that you would be thrown into a really hard version of the hacking minigame. You gotta literally fucking hack the structure. And if you succeed at the hacking minigame, then it tells you what the vulnerability timer is. And if you fail, maybe your ship blows up, maybe the structure shoots you, maybe you get pointed indefinitely, maybe you lose the ability to hack the structure again for like 24 hours or something. But when you do the hack, if you fail the hack or something like that, it would tell the structure owner like, hey, this guy in this ship right now tried to hack your structure to find out when it's going to be vulnerable. And that'd be really cool. That'd be a really cool interplay. So that, I don't know what structure, and he did say there's certain technical problems in terms of that, right? He said that there's definitely technical issues with that, but if they can make it happen, they'd like to make it happen. I love that. If you go back, when I ran for CSM, two of the things that I had proposed in my original CSM thread of what I wanted to see change to EVE Online was I wanted to see narrow skills that are PvE only focused expanded to PvP. Like I said, I wanted to see stuff like hacking skills, mining skills, salvage skills somehow apply to PvP. And I think CCP, they share that sentiment. They want to make this happen. Like I said, you're seeing the mining skills now being useful for PvE. You're seeing mining being part of the core of PvP with the moon mining and ninja mining and all that stuff, and the mining ships getting stronger bonuses to drones like a Rorqual and Orca. You don't fuck with those ships with just like your fucking Tengu, all right? Like they do real damage, like they're real ships. So I love it. I love the fact that you're seeing hacking and mining and all this stuff move from strictly really narrow PvE stuff to just broadening a little bit to PvP. Like I would love if salvage, like if you could use like salvagers on enemy ships and it does something to them, I think it would be hilarious. Like if it did, like a salvager, you know it'd be cool. Like I talked about before, that a mining laser could do damage directly to the hull. Let's take that back. I want to take that back. What if instead, all right, what if instead the salvagers do damage directly to the enemy hull? Tiny damage. I'm talking like 5 DPS, like really shitty damage, okay? Directly to the hull. But mining lasers, what they do when you hit it on the enemy ship is it starts overheating their racks, right? So their heat status goes up. It doesn't overheat their modules directly, but it overheats their racks. So if they're overheating, they accumulate heat damage much, much faster. They overheat faster. So a mining ship on field during a PvP engagement couldn't actively really damage enemy ships, but could still help ally ships while it's trying to run away. Like, please let me go, please. It could turn the mining lasers on the enemy ships and be like, you know what? I can't fucking hurt you, but if you're gonna hurt me, then when my buddies show up to get you, you're gonna be a huge tactical disadvantage because you won't be able to overheat at all. I think that'd be awesome. If you could do something like that, it'd be cool. So people here, oh, let me catch up. Yes, I am space famous. I am October Beauty. Like I said, everyone, October Beauty's here. She's a streamer too for EVE Online. Check her out. Check out her stream. She's really funny. She runs a really like lighthearted kind of stream. Lots of fun banter. She kind of just flies around, gets blown up. But hey, that's what EVE Online's about. And yeah, check her out. Let's see here. As far as Space Famous. Oh, and let me talk about Space Famous for a second. So one thing with EVE Vegas is really weird for me is because I'm like a fourth tier internet celebrity. Like, let's be real, right? Like, nobody knows who I am. Like, people in general in society, most people other than young people don't know who like YouTubers and Twitch streamers are. Like, if I just ask my coworkers, like, hey, do you know who PewDiePie is? Like, 2 of them will know, and the rest of it, like, what? Is that a Pokemon? You know? If I asked them, do you know who Dr. Disrespect is? Like, they're like, who is that? Does he have a medical license? All right, so they're not going to know. So, and those people are like first tier internet personalities, right? They're up there, okay? Then you got like second tier people who probably really well known within their craft, within their, they're still really well known, but they're not like a household name, okay, or anything like that. Then you've got people who are like, they're just really well known within a genre of games, like they're just, if you play RTS games, you know this person. If you play fighting games, like, do you know who Justin Wong is? Like, you should know who Justin Wong is. He's like one of the best fucking fighting game players on the planet. He's been playing Marvel for years, playing Street Fighter for years, won a bunch of tournaments. All right, the guy's like a fucking legend, right? But he's not like PewDiePie, right? So he's not that like level of that tier of internet celebrity, I guess. Okay. And then you have people like me. Then you have people like me who are they're well known in just one game. Like people who play Eve might know who I am. They might know who I am, and that's it. People who play Team Fortress 2 or Assassin's Creed might know who I am. That's literally it. So I'm like a fourth tier internet personality, and like sometimes when I'm playing Overwatch or another game, like people on my comms are like, wait, are you that weird EVE Online guy with the torpedoes? Or like, did you used to make some spy videos like 10 years ago? Like, yeah. But no one knows who I am. But see, so the weird thing for me is, so when I go to something like, hold on a second. Hold on, just catching up with things here. A marquee dragon, yeah, okay. So, hold on, I'm just catching up with the chat. There's a lot of chat. Sebesto, hello. Who is Dr. Disrespect? Jesus Christ, you guys got to catch up. So when I go something like Vegas, it's really weird for me because when I'm on the internet, normally I'm this like fourth tier internet personality that very few people know who I am. Some people, but really it doesn't happen, okay? But then when I go to Vegas, like people know who I am. They're coming up to me and saying hi to me and shaking my hand and they know my character name. They know that they see the videos. They're telling me about the videos they watched and which ones they thought were funniest. And they're thanking me for some mail I sent them a year ago or things like that. So for me, it's like during just the 4 days of Vegas, like I feel like a second tier internet person. Not first tier. No one's coming offering me sponsorships. And, I'm not getting groupies or anything like that. Second tier. And moving up those two rungs just for one weekend is really fun. It's really fun. It's like interesting. It's something too where it's like, I don't know if I could do this all the time. I don't know if I could be a real internet personality like all the time, which is why I'm not. It's also because I'm not particularly entertaining. But yeah, that's it. So I just found that really interesting, and it really is awesome meeting these people because, I make all these videos, I'm doing streams, all of this stuff, and obviously I see the view counts, I see people's comments, but to meet people in real life and they tell me like that they enjoyed the stuff I did, or maybe they're having a shitty week and watching some of my videos or streams or something made their lives a little better in some way, just made them laugh a little, or they listen to just my talkcast stuff while they have their long commute and makes their commute feel shorter. That just means a lot to me to know that I actually made an actual like tiny difference in a couple of people's lives. So anyway, it's just that's cool. It's really cool, and I'm really grateful to be able to talk to some people for that's a thing for them. So I try to answer all the mail I get. I get a lot of Eve mail. In game, I get emails and I get tweets and Facebook posts and stuff. I try to capture all of them, but whatever. Okay, so someone asked let me catch up here. Who's Dr. Disrespect? He is a first-person shooter streamer. Right now, he's a very famous PUBG streamer. He's a character, man. He plays like this mustachioed 1970s macho man. He just stays in character all the time. He wears sunglasses while he streams. It's really funny. You gotta watch his stream just once just to see what it is. He has all these funny catchphrases. If he's a PvPer and you know who Mr. Hyde is. Who's Mr. Hyde? Mr. Hyde. Who is Mr. Hyde? Is he a streamer? No, not exactly. He used to be. He used to be. Hold on a second. I actually have a poem about him that I wrote. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Mr. Hyde, the YouTuber? I thought not. It's not a story CCP would tell you. It's a CSM legend. Mr. Hyde was an elite member of the CSM, so skilled and of such high station in life, he could use YouTube videos to influence Capsuleers and create election campaigns. He had such a high station in life that he could even keep the battleships he cared about from dying. Bastion mode is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unethical. He gained such a high station in life that the only thing he was afraid of was losing his station, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught other YouTubers everything he knew, and then they wrecked him in his own EVE Online forums thread. Ironic, he could save others from blobbing, but not himself. The tragedy of Mr. Hyde. Yes, Mr. Hyde was a YouTuber, a CSM. I had nothing against him personally, ever. But when he decided he was going to quit EVE, quit everything, and when Reload, this YouTuber was running for CSM, he posted this trash talk thread on the EVE forums just talking about how Reload should not be allowed to be a CSM. He has a low station in life. What the fuck does that mean? And we've learned before from trash CSMs like Wingspan TT that electing a YouTuber is a colossal mistake. So obviously I didn't take that very lightly. It's just like, come on, man, what the fuck, really? All right. So anyway, he was obsessed with battleships. That was a thing. All right, I'm catching up here. What's PUBG? PUBG's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. How have you? PUBG is literally the most popular PC game on the planet right now. It's broken every Steam record for concurrent players. There are 2 million concurrent players on Steam right now. That's insane. Literally just like 2 weeks ago, the record for any game at all was like 800,000, and PUBG broke it at 1 million, and then now broke it at 2 million. That's insane. It's insane. Oh yeah, so Mr. Hyde deleted his YouTube channel. He deleted all of his videos. He didn't tell anyone ahead of time. And I understand. People were saying that the reason is because he's doing a career switch in real life, and he thought it was going to reflect poorly on his job, or his boss wouldn't like it or something. I'm not going to comment on that. I can respect that. But one thing I can't respect is, like, if you're going to do that, man, can you just put one video for your fans? Like, all the people who've been following you for like literally fucking years, just put one video and just tell them like that why you're doing what you're doing, and that you're grateful to them, and that this is going to be your last video, so that your fans have like a chance to like understand what's going on, that maybe they could like download your videos or watch your videos even if they don't want to download them, just watch their favorite video one last time before it gets pulled off the internet. Like, it just feels like a really like completely dick move to me to do that. Like, if I were ever just gonna quit, if I had to pull all my videos off YouTube intentionally, like, I would definitely tell everyone ahead of time, assuming I wasn't being legally forced to, right? Like, if I was choosing to do that, I would be like, hey guys, like, I've been doing this for 8 years, got 40,000 subscribers on YouTube. It means a lot to me. Like, a lot of like hard time. I'm gonna just tell you right now, right? A lot of times in my personal life, when I was having like a hard week, a hard month, a hard year, when I was having bad days at work, when I was having bad problems with anything in my life, when the world is fucking crazy out there, when crazy shit is happening, when they're gunning down Harambe, like I don't know, sorry, I don't mean to interject a joke, right? Like, the fact that I could wake up in the morning and get an email from someone and they say like, hey man, I love your videos and I love you, right? Like, it just adds some meaning to my life. Like, it really means something, to just think that like, oh, when I put something out there, there's real people who are watching it, who are listening and watching. And even if this is all stupid, it's all pixels and video games, it's not real, none of this fucking matters, right? It's pixels, okay? Just to know that someone out there, I made their day a little better, and they made my day a little better just from saying hi or saying whatever any of this means to them. I guess that's what society is about, right? That's why we're not all hermits. It allows you to connect to people, and that connection means that some part of you understands some part of them. And I think so much of life in the world, just general suffering and depression, it's like that feeling that you're alone, right? That people don't get you, that your thoughts are just your own, and that you know, why are they worth having, right? They're just stuck in your head. If you say them out loud, people are going to think you're stupid. They're going to judge you, right? But connecting with people, even if it's through something like a weird subscription, through YouTube, through Twitch, through a video game, all these people who joined my Corporation EVE Online who thought my stupid torpedo meme joke was funny, these 500 players, and these are just the players who are in now. There's players who left or who were kicked or went inactive, maybe 1,000 players, right? And then we had more people who applied that we didn't let in. I'm sorry about that. But, you know, that connection, that means something to me. You know, it really does. It means that we have something in common. Even if it's just we have a sense of humor in common, it just means that a little part of, like, my spark is shared out there. And those people's sparks are shared with me too. And that's cool. That's just a really cool feeling. So that's why I do this. That's why I keep doing this, right? Because I like the idea of spreading ideas. I like the idea of seeing them grow and go out there, and that's why I'll keep doing this as long as I can imagine. And then when I can't do it anymore, I will post something to let you all know. And when that happens, you'll probably be able to talk me out of it. So, to all of you, whether you've been watching for 8 minutes or 8 years, you know, cheers. All right, cheers. Here you go. Wait. All right, there. I'll clink it on the microphone so you can hear it, so you know it clinked. Oh, man. Darth Torona. Cheers, man. So, yeah, let me catch up here. Catching up. All right, people are talking about... So, by the way, I got maybe like 20 minutes left here that I'm still going to stream. I've covered all of my things in Microsoft OneNote that I was going to cover. So, if you guys have any questions about anything from EVE Vegas, something that was announced that you didn't understand, some panel that you missed, you have questions about things that happen, the player things, whether it's worth going or not, or what happens there, anything, please put them in chat right now because I got about 20 minutes left. So please put your questions about EVE Vegas in the chat and I'll answer them as I catch up with other questions here. Harambe, blah, 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 the friggin' menace, all the jokes. Tivian, thank you for believing in Wingspan and for trying to join at least. Oh man, yeah, exactly. October Beauty's got it exactly. Just making people laugh just a little bit because the world's not always so fun. I personally find it really easy to laugh and enjoy the world, but you know, everyone's got their down days. Diggler Jr., 3-week new bro still doesn't know how to navigate the map or inside a wormhole. And that's the funny thing with EVE Online, man. Every time you learn something, you realize that everything you knew before, like, oh man, I know so much about EVE Online. I've got it. I understand so much. I figured it out. And then you learn something new, like, wait, what is this? And as you're learning something new, you realize that everything you knew before was only like 5% of the game in this little corner. And you're like, oh, god damn, I didn't know anything about how to run missions. So you start learning about how to run missions. You learn how to run missions. And now you expand and you expand. Your knowledge is so huge. And now I know everything about missions. And you're like, wait, what's this? Wait, that's how mining works? And you start learning about mining and all the materials. And you realize that everything you knew before was 5% of the EVE world. And that just keeps happening over and over. You learn about covert ops. You learn about wormhole space. You learn about black ops. You learn about capitals. You learn about super capitals. You learn about corporation management. Everything that you do just keeps doing that. Okay. Red alert. New bro here. I'm recently getting into wormhole life, and I want to know something from someone with your experience. What is the chain to get into the hole you are in? If you don't know, that's your problem, man. And if you think you're going to decloak me, you're wrong. Spaceland, thank you for the cheers. Thank you. Let's see here. What is a good hard counter to a Tengu fit like yours? That's a really good question. A hard counter to a fit like mine. I would say definitely strong enough. Oh man, it would have to be, I would say a Loki. A Loki, anything with bonus long range webs. So the thing is, the ship's really fast with micro warp drive, okay? It's really fast, it has a really good range, it has a really good tank. So really, the number one thing, the webs. You need to get in web range. You gotta land on top of the ship and just grab it. Okay. Has a huge tank, ancillary shield boost. So you need to be able to tank the DPS. Okay, which is a lot of DPS. Honestly, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to think what would be the best ship. I mean, certainly I can't 1v1 most battleships, but there you go. Warm fuzzies. I want to use my so now that I'm a Twitch affiliate, I can use the stupid stream emotes. I got some cool stream emotes. Like, I don't even care if people don't subscribe to my channel. It's like I'm like, wait a second, I can put these so I can use them. I got the little 07, I got the little left-handed salute. I've got the wingspan wingspan, and I have the fourth best as an emote, so that's cool. The Marshall ship, not getting that for free, but it will be coming out to Project Discovery, so people will be able to buy it later. The Marshall Black Ops Battleship. Viserius says, when will they list the 20 million alpha accessible skills? I don't know. My guess is they will list it sometime in the next month, or they'll put something on CC for it. It's going to be very predictable, though. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be all racial. It's going to be what you have now for all races, though. So that's going to be about 12 million skill points, probably, maybe like 11 million. They're going to have battle cruiser skills for all races, battleship skills for all races, Tech 2 small guns, Tech 2 medium weapons. Then you can have battleship. I'm sorry, I already said that. Battleship skills for all races. Then you have large Tech 1 weapons for all races. And then probably just a couple other quality of life skills. So you could pretty much just guess it right now, though. I don't think you have to worry about anything too much. Alpha Recap has no cloak and no barge. Still unsure on Tech. There will be Tech 2 light and medium drones. I guarantee it. If I'm wrong, I'll send you 31 million ISK. Did they announce alphas are going to be able to fly battleships and battle cruisers? Yes. And then they'll be able to use Tech 2 small and medium weapons, but not Tech 2 large weapons. Okay. Although someone pointed out that they can use Tech 2 smart bombs because of the way smart bomb skill requirements are. So just that might be an oversight by CCP. Shh. I didn't say that on their official stream. Vernalis Gaming says, Chance showed me Eve. A few others, including him, got me to join. Thank you. That's awesome. That's great. Now I'm stuck in a hole trying to learn more about them. Sebesto 1980 says, Chance, with the changes to Citadel reinforces, is Wingspan going to be doing deliveries to random Citadels? So, just so everyone knows, Wingspan has had about, I believe, a 9-month hiatus on structure bashing. We've officially declared no organized structure bashing for the last 9 or 10 months, and I think it's time to potentially change that. I think with the changes, Wingspan will be opening up attacks. I said the A word. We will be opening mass munitions deliveries, MMDs, to inactive structures as soon as inactive structures are a thing. And then beyond that, I don't think we're going to have a blanket structure attack policy. But I think if there's a strategic reason to do it, we'll be willing to do it. Right now, we won't do it even with a strategic reason, really. So I think we're going to go from 0% structure bashes to definitely bash inactive structures and maybe bash active structures, depending if we have a reason to do it or not. Did CCP mention anything about expanding on the Eve lore? No, that's a good question, though. One thing that Hilmar did note in his presentation is that even though he had nothing to show, he said that Eve Nova, which is the Dust 514 remake, essentially, for PC, is still in production. He doesn't want people to think it's not in production. He doesn't have anything to show for Eve Vegas, but he said in the coming months, very soon, there'll be news. So my guess is sometime by the end of the year, there'll be some kind of announcement. I don't know what. I feel like it's very possible, or if not, I wholly expect at FanFest in March that there'll be a huge reveal about it. But that's just my guess. Hold on, I'm just catching up. All right, no lore updates in quite some time. The blob counters anything. Enough active tank to tank his weapons. Yep. Let's see here. A Naga. How much DPS? All of it? I mean, the ship does 900 DPS, so you got to tank 900 DPS before resist. Keep in mind that Tengu primarily does kinetic damage, so if you have really high kinetic resist, that'll help you a lot if you want to take on Tengu. How much EHP do I have without the ancillary shield booster? The answer is 40,000. It's like 38,000, 37,000, something like that. I've about 35 to 40,000 EHP depending on implants and all that stuff without the ancillary shield boosters. The ancillary shield boosters provide, I believe it was like 125,000 EHP with overheated invulnerabilities over the course of 9 boosts. So that's 165,000 EHP, 160,000 EHP, assuming I don't get to reload. And I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Yesterday in that fight where I lost my Tengu, I did get to reload. So I healed. So they had to burn through 310,000 EHP to take down my Tengu. So, yes, I lost my Tengu, but I want to say I tanked a 7-person fleet for 310,000 damage. So there you go. I think that was pretty good. I think for solo, that's decent. What do you think observatories might end up being if and when they get made? Cloaking detector is something you need to plot Stargates. Definitely a replacement for pirate detection. I think that will happen. Fozzie mentioned something about someone, no, I'm not going to attribute it. I remember someone saying something that they could make it so the observatories, like people have always talked about before, like should nullsec not have local chat like Wormhole space? And that's very divided, right? Someone was saying, what if they just make it so that nullsec does not have local chat, but if you anchor an observatory, you get local chat. So for all intents and purposes, if you're using your space, there's no reason you wouldn't anchor an observatory, right? But someone could attack it and take away your local chat. Or if you forgot to fuel your observatory and it goes inactive, you lose local chat. Like if they made a station service local chat. Oh, Oriana wants to talk. What's up? All right, there you go. See, that's why I have that. There you go. He's asking me. Ooh, I think he might have some content for me. Another non-ASB active tank T3 would dunk him, right? Yeah, if you had an active tank T3, that you would probably beat me. Eventually, my tank would fail and yours wouldn't, and I don't have newts to disable you. So yeah. Let's see here. Ooh, does he have content for me?
Warp drive active.
I think he does. He might have it. I'm gonna see if I can head out here. A Gila would dunk him. The thing with a Gila is, I definitely don't think I could kill the Gila, but I don't think it could kill me. I don't think it could catch me. And I think I could orbit at enough range. I mean, this thing goes 3,000 meters a second, 3 kilometers a second, overheated prop mod. So I don't really see it catching me personally. I don't think the Gila can catch me. I think its missiles will apply very poorly when I'm moving that fast. And its drones can come at me, but I run rapid lights, and I know that they get a lot of HP bonus, but I think I could eventually kill the drones if they're super far range from the Gila. Then their retraction speed is going to be slow. Alright, let's see here. Splash, splash, splash. What's the most effective way of earning ISK and nullsec? I have no idea. Let's see. Hold on a second, guys. I have a tip. Just the tip. Alright, let's see here. Why no bashing currently? Lots of reasons. Alright, I have something I'm going to try to potentially hit here. I do have a target. This is a good way to end the stream. Actually have a target. Alright, hold on. I might keep streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming. Hold on. What the balls, Chance? I don't know. What's she saying what the ball's about? Yeah, you don't need to tank 900 before it resists, right? Okay. They're all buffer. Healers are all buffer. If you have a chance to reload, you win. Yeah. Passive heal, I can take 4 clips from that. Rapid lights, 900 DPS? Yeah. Yes. Yes, a Tengu can do 1,000 DPS with rapid lights. Jesus, guys. These things are overpowered now. All the T3s are overpowered. Alright, I'm going to jump onto Corp Comms for a second. Hey, what's up? Hello? Okay,
sorry,
so
I'm on a perch.
So I am streaming, so just don't say any players' names or anything like that, alright? We're just gonna hit this guy.
Okay.
You want me to warp to the perch? I guess that makes sense.
Well, I don't know. He might have the hole scouted, so...
Just warp straight to the... What's the bookmark? Directly on him?
It's an op 1. It's on the rock that he's mining.
Okay. Alright, so if I warp to like 10 on that, I'll be within range.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Alright.
I think, tell me when you jump, because he might have a scout, and then I'll warp to the rock, and if I decloak, I'll just...
Oh shit, I just jumped. Okay. I jumped.
And then warp straight away. Yeah, just warp as soon as you low grid. He's not moving.
Warp drive active.
Okay. Let's see if we grab this guy. We do have a procurer out here. We have a procurer. Gonna try to blap one procurer before the night's over. What's my default orbit radius? Okay, that's fine. Okay. Guess watch D-scan, right? He's not moving?
Yeah. No, he's not moving.
Alright.
You on grid?
Yeah, I didn't get decloaked at least.
Alright, you wanna hit it?
Alright, I'm gonna decloak and hit it. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, the damage, the damage.
I had to bounce.
Oh, he's got the drones on you already?
Yeah, I'll come back.
Alright. Here we go. Here we go. Overheating weapons. Weapons burning up a lot of damage. The shields are going. What's he doing? They're too hot. They're too hot.
A module has run out of charges.
Repair, repair, repair. Alright, here we go. Too hot. Too hot to handle. See, this is it. See, the rapid lights really get the damage out there. The rapid lights really get that damage. I gotta orbit a little closer in case he decides to, like... He's trying to move. No, no. You're going to Hull, buddy. You're going to Hull. Johnny, tell him what he's won. He's won a free trip to the junkyard. The junkyard. Epic PvP. Epic PvP. And I have a stealth bomber backup. I got stealth bomber backup. Oh. Is he gonna warp in the next 5 seconds?
I got the pod pointed.
No. Oh, you got it pointed?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just beautiful. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Say hi. Do you think anyone's coming?
Nah, nothing's in D-scan.
Alright. GG! All right, easy. What a way. Looks like a mix of rapid light. Yeah, it's rapid lights and hams. What is this guy? What is this guy doing mining out here? Does he live here? Does he legitimately just mine solo in a C5?
I'm not sure what's going on, honestly.
Hold
I
on
think
a second.
he's day tripping.
Did you get the kill mail?
Let me check.
Oh, the repair's still happening. All right. All right. All right, let's see it.
Linked in fleet.
Oh, he did get it. Okay. Oh, at least I got 91% of damage. Well, you get to bounce. 27 million. 27 million. Johnny, tell him what he's won. Look at that. Beautiful. Didn't drop anything great. Well, that was like literally the last like couple of minutes of my stream here. It's like perfect timing. Get like actual content. I spent literally 2 hours just talking about Vegas. That's it. Just like
Nice.
answering people's questions about the panels and stuff. All right, here's the pod. Empty pod. Can't complain. 78. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. All right, I'm gonna get off my stream, but thanks for letting me know. Thanks for heads up. Do you think that C4 is like legit or what?
They're active all day except for like
Except for now?
an hour or two before you get on. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't save the exit. I thought it was bookmarked on both sides. Do you have it?
Yeah, I'll move it over.
All right, cool. Thank you. Well, everyone, that's it. That's gonna be the stream. Hold on a second. My build. Yeah, I got a mix of hams and rapid lights, and that's exactly it. It's a mix of burst and sustained damage, and part of it too is just the idea that, you know, if I'm fighting small things like Explorer, or there's like a tackle frigate on me, some little destroyer or something, like with 3 rapid light launchers that do fucking 500 DPS, like you can kill those kinds of ships really fast. Like just get off me. Whereas like hams don't do that, especially if you're not gonna like web them and paint them and all that stuff. This is much more of a kitey fit. So I'd rather have something just blast those ships off me. Same thing with drones, right? You want to kill some drones. You got some geckos right on top of you. Just get rid of it. And the hams are for the sustained damage, so that people don't just totally rep up in between. And, you know, they still do good damage, so I don't know. I might switch it out to more rapid lights. In the past, I found that having fewer rapid lights has screwed me, whereas having more rapid lights, while annoying, has never actually screwed me quite yet. So it's a good thing to know. Thank you, guys. That's going to be it for my stream tonight. I want to thank everyone so much for coming to watch, asking your questions, checking it out, and just bearing with me. I know there's a lot to cover. I know I spent pretty much the whole stream just talking about Vegas and the future of EVE, but that's what this is about, Vegas and the future of EVE Online, which I think is looking pretty fucking awesome. I really approve of everything CCP is doing right now. I know it's taken them a while to come around to the changes that seem obvious to some of us, but they are still a company. They still have gridlock, and they still have to like make sure they're making the right changes, because this isn't Overwatch. You know, if they make the wrong fucking tweak, they destroy the economy of EVE. They destroy the balance of EVE. And it has repercussions for every single one of us who plays, so they have to be very, very conservative with the changes. I'm looking forward to it. If you enjoyed this stream, please consider following me here on Twitch, on YouTube. Consider if you want to just do anything else. I'm going to say what or whatever, but I would greatly appreciate it. I'm here on Mondays and Thursdays streaming 10 to midnight Eastern time, US. That's -4. Although we're about to go to daylight savings time, which puts us at -5 of GMT. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.